All right, here we are with another Saturday Night Live Zoom. What's the date today? July 6th. My goodness gracious, time's flying. So today we have another very special guest, Gabriela, joining us. And she's going to share her master fasting experiences. How you doing, Gabriela?
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me, Gino.
You're welcome. We love to have family members join us and blabber away. Nobody wants to hear me all the time. I've
We
done enough,
do, we do.
I've done enough talking. I know I've been through so much and I can share all those experiences, but I've been doing it and it's good because repetition is the mother of skill, and sometimes we need to hear things maybe 1,000 times before it sinks in. and we, and this is why we do these support meetings and groups, and just to stay connected and inspire each other, because as we keep saying out there, this lifestyle is not supported. It's completely opposite. We actually get chastised and, all kinds of stuff, as most of you have experienced. But it's all good. It's all, we have to have a good time. We have to laugh at it, because they really don't know what they're doing. So, not that we know any better. We know maybe a little bit. But anyways, maybe you want to share your upbringing and your background and how you got into healthier lifestyle, how you found Master Fast, and so on and so forth.
Yes. So, I was born and I grew up in Romania. Romania is a country in Eastern Europe. So at that time, it was a communist country. So I moved to Canada in 2011. So I lived a normal life, having a normal diet, so called. Still in childhood, we were not exposed to to fast food or so many chemicals. Our lifestyle was mostly, cooked food, but still having the chance to play outside summer or winter, and eating fruits from trees. And I remember as a child, we liked that very much. There were days in the summer when our grandparents couldn't take us down from the trees, eating. We loved it. And as children, I have a brother, very close age. So we didn't like to eat. There were always problems with eating, but okay, we had to. Then, when I moved to Canada, I've noticed that I don't like the food.
Big difference.
The food tasted different, and then I start looking for something, for.
Did you come to Canada by yourself?
I came, yes, with my husband, but he was already here since a long time. But then I start juicing first, which was okay, but still not. But I was still looking. Then my first fast was with green tea and maple syrup and lemon, and it was the first time I was so much in touch with my body. I could feel all the abuse I did to my body, and I felt so much love for my body. Then I started searching more about fasting, and in I think 2 months time, I find Master Fast. I don't know how, was my gift from the universe.
Who inspired you for juicing? Juice Man? Jay Cordage?
It was an Australian guy.
Okay.
The guy who was traveling to the States.
Oh, sick, tired, almost dead.
Yeah. That guy. So, anyways, I was like having 1 meal a day in those times. And anyways, I started eating less since. But then I didn't start immediately with Master Fast, but I stopped drinking water first. I said, let's see. I remember my grandmother from my father's side. She lived all her life in the countryside.
No water.
She told me, don't drink water. Water is not good for you. Drink wine. Because they had in that area a lot of good wine.
That she knew.
She knew, yes. And now I remember about my grandmother. Oh my God. And I noticed if I eat only fruits, I am not thirsty. So I said, there is something in it. Anyways, I was very, I resonate with Master Fast. I didn't know why. Then I start with the juice and lemon, and I start with dry fasting. Very interesting. So my first dry fast was for 3.5 days. It was very well. Then, then I started in 2018. Didn't have any major health issues at the time, I just wanted to, have this experience. First of all, I said, I want to try this. I didn't know why. So,
did you watch any videos?
Oh yes, all this time I was on the page. I read all the comments, all the posts. I saw the videos. I was even telling other people about it, and I start saving money to buy the tincture, because I wanted to buy the Super 12. Start with Super 12 as you recommend in the protocol. Then I remember I started on a new moon on 2018, and my first was for 54 days. I wanted to do 108, but there is a point. I cannot drink, I don't respect the protocol, let's say, and then it's not going well for the body. No, it's too much, and the detoxing, it's too much. So, but anyways, it was a good experience. Then I had shorter ones after. I think immediately the first the 10 days I did after 54. I did after 2 weeks, I think. I stopped because my lymphatic system is, let's say, not great. So I had the swelling very very bad after I start introducing food.
Right.
But then I did another 9 days. On the short ones, I can do more pudding than I do on a long Master Fast. So I felt great. First of all, my skin was absolutely so soft. Then you remember last year I told you about my nerve.
Was this kind of like,
regeneration. I didn't even think about it, I was like, oh, what a surprise, I can feel my hand. After maybe
And you had that for many years, right?
Yeah.
Oh, 10 years, yeah,
10 years.
more than 10 years, I think.
Was it an accident that you
No, it was a surgery where, and I had like a lipoma, it's called,
Okay.
like a cyst. And when the surgeon removed it, because it was growing so much and it was bothering me, it was pressing one nerve here. So I had to remove it. I didn't know any better at the time.
Yeah, so you removed it and you lost some nerve.
It touched, I felt in the surgery that she touched a nerve, and then she said, okay, it will come back, but it didn't.
Like you never, like there's an area where you did not feel.
Yes, it was numb.
No sensation.
They did some damage to the nerve in the operation.
Yes. But I could use my hand. It was.
Yeah.
But then I said, oh, I feel everything now, which was amazing.
How long did that take? Do you recall when you were in the fast?
I didn't even, because I did not check,
Right.
so I don't know when it happened.
Just
but
one day you noticed.
One day I noticed, yes. Like, yeah. So I used Super 12. I did, at the first fast, I didn't have a Colema board. I was doing enemas, I think around 6 to 8 liters a day.
Mm-hmm.
Which this year I bought a Colema board, and it made a big difference. I would advise everyone to buy one. When I saw the package at my door, I said, oh my God, how could I spend so much money for this? But immediately after I used it, I said, oh, now I understand. Yeah. Now I understand why. It's like, it's so comfortable.
It's
comfortable.
Unlike enemas.
Yeah. And last year I did only one colonic for the entire fast. So then what did I do more? Little plasma pudding, maybe one. I started with less than one, with a teaspoon. I started. It was too much for me, even one spoon. It was too much. I don't know why. Maybe because I was too, the state of my body at the time. So then regularly I did like 12 hours dry a day. Mm-hmm. Very rarely I did more because I forgot my juice home or something like that. And so what did I do? I wrote here something. Okay, so 36 hours weekly, 60 monthly, and I did 84 for season change. This was last year. Which was, then I kept my dry fasting very, how would you say, religiously? Yeah. And did some longer outside the protocol. So, and I felt like I have to do this again,
Mm-hmm.
What was your longest dry fast?
Last year it was 84 for season change. Yeah, that was my longest dry.
Within the master fast?
Within the master fast. Outside the master fast. Okay. No longer than 3. Yeah, that was the longest. Yeah, I skipped now in June the season change. I was traveling, and it was like exactly the day of the solstice. Yeah, so I came back last week. Mm. Nice. But I want to do a longer one now. I think I can do anytime I want. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then and this year I started on the full moon, and it was a little bit not harder, but mentally, harder this year. So I wanted to always to start with the new moon. Maybe it will, I don't know. Last year was easier. And this year I did colonic every week. I planned, I scheduled my colonics. I don't know if I mentioned, but we here we have like private insurance, and I have a certain amount of this paid by the insurance, so which is it's great per year, yeah. And then I was going this year. I didn't go so hard on the drive because I wanted to go to 108, and I was listening to Rana. She always said I didn't want to lose much weight, so I stick to 12 hours a day, 24 hours a week, 48 hours a month, and I did 72 for season change, and then I broke the fast after the spring equinox. Yeah, and it was what I have noticed this year. My sight improved. I went to the doctor for a new prescription because I was like, oh, I could read better without my glasses, So, and the doctor said, yes, indeed, you have a better sight than last year, and my gums improved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I went to the dentist, and she told me, wow, it's I mean, it's a difference since last year,
How long did you go this year?
60.
60 days. Okay.
Yeah, 60 days. Then I did another like 9 or 10 days before I traveled because I needed to focus. So we organized the conference this year in Ottawa. So it was a lot of work, like 150 people coming from around the world. Usually we go somewhere in the world, but and it was so much work. Then I said, oh, I need to focus. So I went on, I think it was dry, hybrid, and then master fast, like 10 days. But it helped me. It always is I don't know about you, but for me, when I am on the protocol, I'm clear. My head is clear.
Much more productive, much more
productive. I am balanced. I am, energy. Yes, people are saying, my colleagues say, how can you do that? I would have no energy. Yes, I said in the beginning, but then and now my body immediately feel the immediately the energy is coming up immediately. It's not even 1 or 2 days. I'm not feeling bad at all. It's like, yeah. So this is the story. Yeah, it's like I know I will do this every year in the winter. I like doing starting in January. Maybe this year I will start immediately on the 1st of January, and I don't know for how long, and then have short. I have noticed this hybrid and master fast combination goes very well for me. Mm-hmm. So I might try this, and then maybe eating. Anyway, summer it's very easy. There are so many fruits, and still okay. The summer, even when I come back from Romania in the summer, and I taste the first watermelon or whatever, I want to cry. It's such a difference, of taste.
Yeah, more appreciation.
Yes, it is. But maybe it's for the best because I can't eat more. It's like, yeah.
What's your schedule like when you're eating?
Now, when I'm eating,
Mm-hmm.
now I am like 48 hours drive per week,
Every
and
week?
the rest I'm eating. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And even I have days now, it's so hot, I am only on juice. I have my juice here. Yeah, every day. I don't, now when I am not on the program, I don't know how much I drink, but when I am on the program, I watch I have the tendency to drink very little. So, especially after, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know why. It's like, and this year I experienced a lot of stomach uh, burns. How
Yeah.
you say? It's like a lot of acid,
Mm-hmm.
which I never suffered from. But who knows why? Maybe from the antibiotics I took when I was a
How
yeah.
long does it last, the acid reflux?
Oh, it lasted. It was like a few weeks. The last few weeks.
It happens when you are eating and
No. On master fast.
okay, full master fast.
On a full
Like
master
it
fast.
stays
Yes.
for like
Yes.
2 weeks or so.
Maybe more. Yeah.
You're using the same juice that you used before?
No, a different one because I am not finding the same juice. I am buying from Costco.
Okay.
Something I find this year. It's different. Last year it used to be one of their product, Kirkland product,
Right.
but they don't have it anymore here, at least in Quebec.
Yeah.
But they have a different one, so I buy that. What I find, I'm not. I use Welsh when I find. I use Concord grape juice, or I'm not. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as we say, when you're in a deep MFS, all weaknesses come to the surface.
Yeah.
When you're using different juices and stuff, you'll have different reactions of power of cleansing and so on. So that's why I asked if you change juices. Sometimes that can trigger it, but it's all good news. We just have to allow ourselves to work through these times and let the body do what it knows what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Body knows better.
Yeah, like you said, when you're going into the fast and you're going in for a few weeks, you don't want to drink as much because
Yes. Maybe, I said maybe it's me because I can't drink too much.
lots of people go through that and then they start
Yeah,
getting themselves in trouble because the body's not able to purge
exactly.
fast enough. So that's why
Yeah,
we have to make sure.
yeah.
A couple
And I felt that the last week was like all the cells in my body were like I could feel them. I didn't know. Do I will I fly or will I don't know, collapse or I was on a subway one day and I was, ooh, what's this? It was a vibration, like something was moving inside, but in all my body, everywhere.
Were you on a dry fast?
Yeah, the last 3 days were a dry fast, but this was, I think, before.
Full dry.
Yeah. Then I used the green juice. I said, well, it's the time.
slow down. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, to slow down. Then it was okay. It was okay. Yeah. So that's it. I am on this path of less is more. Yeah, I want to live this my life this way. So I want to be in how Gino is saying, peace, balance, and correct conduct. So
We live it, we love it, and
yes.
as time goes on, we tweak it, we adjust it. It's always changing. It's always, to our, to the way the body responds. It's never going to be the same. We're going to, maybe some people want to do more dry fast, some people want to do more liquid, some people want to do more food, whatever. But
it's an art.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. It really is an art, right? I mean,
Yes.
once you learn your body, then it's you can.
Yeah. We have to try, you know, to play with it. There's so many ways. I mean, in a protocol, so many.
It's infinite.
Can try, yeah. I want to try the colon feeding protocol once.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least for a few days, maybe not.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know, if some people are having a really hard time with dry fasting, that's one way to go. You know, you're dry from above and washing from below.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful protocol, and you know, we've used that a lot when people couldn't keep anything down. They're just throwing up and throwing up. And
oh, yeah. No, I did not. I did not have so much problems, you know. No.
But that's where we you know kind of designed this colon feeding thing.
Yeah.
And then when I mentioned that to Michelle, who helped put the pet protocol together, she goes, "I used to do that with animals when they couldn't keep anything."
Oh, yeah.
Of course, why it works? Yeah. It works on humans. Why wouldn't it work on animals?
Yeah. I bought the fork.
Awesome.
I use this, you know, for what? When I do put the water into the
enema.
Yeah, into the not enema, into the
Talimba board. Yeah.
Talimba board. Yeah, I use this for you know, and I bought a Tesla plate, and that I'm keeping it under the, you know, the like the reservoir or what it is, and this I am using it also in a bathroom, you know, like I am playing with.
The fork right against the pail of the bucket, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so vibration goes right into the water.
Exactly. So
I don't have one here. It's in the other room.
yeah, for the tea, I saw you using it once when I do the tea. Yeah.
Which one?
The tinctures, I am okay. You know, I like the tinctures very much. I feel them so. Oh yeah, that's.
Right away, it changes the state. We've done muscle testing with 440 and 432. My goodness, what a difference.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of sound.
Yeah, so it's simple, you know, it's such a simple way of living, and profound, and just, but okay, yeah, just we have to do it, you know, nobody else can do it for us.
That's right.
Yeah.
How is it like? How are you finding breaking the fast and
well,
fasting and eating?
It's better this year than last year. I break it correctly, but well, I probably supposed to eat more fruits, you know, only fruits for many days. But I was traveling, so you know how it is. I've been in like 4 countries last year, back to back. So, but I always find like watermelon, grapes, you know, to eat somewhere. In China, I've been surprised. You find fruits at every meal they serve.
Really?
Yes. Well, it was a conference, so they have watermelon and grapes at the breakfast and at lunch. Let's say for dinner, if you would have go out to eat, you're supposed to order them. But it was very very nice. Yeah. And but this year I broke it. I kept eating fruits for a longer period than last year. And it was better. And I also did massage this year, comparing with last year. I learned to use my health insurance wisely, because that's becoming an income to you know, to your here. So I saw that I had to pay some taxes. And then I said, no, no, no. This year I will use everything. I have, yeah, prevention, like so many, I think 10 items, you know, like massage, chiropractor, acupuncture, whatever, naturopath, and I will use everything until the end of the year.
So the traveling is for work or for personal?
Yes, for work. For work it was, for work, yes. Also personal, because I did in between. I went on Santiago de Compostela in between Porto and Santiago. I walked on the, I did the coastal Camino, it's called. You know, it's like, I don't know, 200 kilometers.
Oh, wow.
I walked with a backpack, with few things, you know. It was so nice. Yeah. And I started with a good friend of mine, but she had to go, she decided to go back. She had blisters and problems with her feet. Me, I always get blisters in the summer from every pair of sandals I wear, but not last year. It was perfect. Yeah, nothing, no problems. But I did something. I had one day, I was behind my schedule. So what did I do? Is it called? Is it called? Like the acid was going out on my skin. You know, I felt like it was like a rash, like a red. My skin on my feet was red and looking so bad. But I saw other people having it on the trail. So it's called, in a way, it's for the people who have like a bad blood circulation. And in contact with the socks, I had like very famous socks I bought from a shop here, but they didn't go well on my trip. And walking fast, you know, it didn't go well. But then I changed my socks and it was better. But it looked very bad. I went to a pharmacy and I sent a picture to my godmother. She's a doctor. Said, stop immediately what you do. You need your feet. Once I stopped walking, it was okay. You know, everything.
Were you eating?
Yes, of course. I was eating.
I've seen the worst athlete's foot heal in days just soaking in wheatgrass juice and water.
Yeah. But it was like 20 kilometers a day, you know. Well, and not, but you go with the flow, you know, with the people. I'm just like, okay. Then when I came back from China, I was fasting for 9 days. Okay, it was good, but I am like still a social person. I cannot. If I am alone, I have no problems, you know, with eating. But when I go out I'm still not that strong, you know.
I think you're very strong. What you're doing is amazing so far.
Thank you, Rana.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue for most people is when they're alone, really. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I think so too, because you know, like you're facing yourself.
Yeah, but still, I am. You know, I do my program. You know, I do my. So, but when I am with other people, it's like.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to balance. You know, it's nice to be with other people, but at the same time, somehow emotionally, you want to be strong. You know, with other people, you don't have to be.
Yeah.
Nobody has to be perfect, but you do.
Yeah. I did one day, I was planning the other fast. When I started, I was planning for 5 days to do like that green tea and maple syrup. And so on the second day, a friend of my husband invited us to his birthday. Then I took my tea and I go to the party. I said, okay, if I cannot make it, I will eat a salad, you know, the worst thing I can eat, it will be a salad. But no, I was strong. I didn't go even to the food area. I stayed in a, you know, another section, and then I didn't attract too many, you know, questions. People like, what are you doing? What are you, how is that? Yeah. But then, yeah. So this is it.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions for Gabriela?
Ranjit, maybe?
Yeah, I do. I just, do you see a path, how you're going to live the MFS lifestyle? Do you see something forming for you, or some sort of pattern that you see that you're going to lead into? Like, how would you like to live MFS lifestyle?
Well, let's say I would like to fast from January to April every year, be on master fast. Then, you know, spring and summer, eating fruits, keeping my dries, you know. And then again, from like August, September, going back, like, I don't know how many days a month, you know, going back and again, eating, fasting, something like that. I will see exactly how it is going to work. But from January to, I don't know how long, I will master fast every year. You know?
Yeah, what you're doing right now is like fasting days and eating days.
Yes, now I am only like dry fasting.
Okay.
Normally, regularly, for minimum 48. So
Per week?
Per week, yes. Then eating. So 5 days with 2 days.
Awesome.
Yes, and then.
And it's like hybrid because you're drinking, like, are you doing?
No. I tried, before the conference, I did like 10 days. I started with hybrid because I had some fruits and I didn't want to, you know, throw them away. Yeah. And then I switched to master fast. And I always start with dry fasting. Okay. I always start with dry fasting. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Because I wanted to, like, I started on a new moon or a full moon, so it's like special thing to dry fast. Yeah, I keep all the full moons, new moons on a year. I'm dry fasting.
Are you fasting today?
No, I am just on juice, and I had some very little thing at noon. Okay. Yeah, it's so hot now. You can't eat much. It's
let's order a pizza for everybody.
Yeah, it can be a plasma pizza. Yeah, I did it was a recipe of a banana bread or something.
Yeah,
made
special banana flour, I think.
We
banana flour.
Yeah, something. Someone posted.
Yeah, oh, Miriam.
Miriam, yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, she had the recipe.
Yes, it was good. I tried it once, and I saw a pizza, plasma pizza.
Yeah, it's good.
Didn't try it.
Yeah.
Maybe, anyways, I eat pizza even before, not so much, maybe 2 times a year.
It's nice to have this kind of crunchy thing, you know?
Yeah. Well,
we're all addicted.
Yeah, well, of course we are.
But
we want to do better.
Yeah, fasting is more addictive.
Well, yeah, soon.
Different.
Once we get into that element, we go, why do we eat?
Yeah. Why do we eat?
Get to that beautiful state.
It's just it's a program, and well, we live in this
society.
In society, and this realm where people are eating.
Exactly.
We are not angels yet. Soon.
Well, yeah, this is the thing, you know,
Soon to become. Yeah.
we can enjoy both worlds, right?
Yes, exactly.
Most,
Exactly.
most
Yes.
people are not going to stop eating completely.
Yes.
That's okay, but you know, like I keep saying, you know, if can you imagine everybody on this planet cut their food consumption in half? My goodness gracious, how
Yeah.
much an impact that would be on our earth. It would be amazing.
Yeah. Anyways, when I eat a lot less than before.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 20, oh my God, I was eating so much and I was skinny.
Yeah, oh boy, 20 years old, those ages, man.
Oh my God.
A lot of food.
Yeah, I could go to like when we had like a lot of weddings on my 20s, you know, going. They serve like 6 dishes, you know. Oh my God, and I eat them all.
Yeah.
I am thinking, how could I do that? You know, how could I eat so much? Now, anyways, no. After one, I'm. It's too much for me. Yeah, but there are still, you know, like celebrations and not having my family here in Canada, so I'm not so exposed to this Christmas or Easter, but I'm invited to other people. But wow, it's just one day a year.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey, Gino, Gabriela said something really, really, I loved it at the beginning, how she said that she was sort of, when she came to MFS, you were pulled. And it's an interesting pattern, because I see in the group the ones that feel that calling like I did, and I know Steve and many other people, is that you just get on with the business, right? Because there's this pull, there's no complaints, it's like a very natural, organic unfolding. And you've had that same experience. And it's like the MFS Facebook group, like no matter what you're doing, it was like you were ready before you even got here. You know what I mean? Like it was already set out for you, the path, and it was just looking at a system that would suit you. So I'm just wondering if you can elaborate on that, because that's going to, one, give me confirmation and many other people to not push, but rather than feel the pull.
Yeah, and it's coming probably the need when you are ready, you know. I was ready. I wanted to start earlier than I started, but well, there are other events in my life, so I had to cope. And but still, I knew I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you need to be ready. That's what it is. Like when I got handed Arnold Ehret's book by a friend's cousin, and I read that book, I go, my goodness gracious, I can't go back to what I was after reading this. This makes so much sense.
Yeah, when you are exposed to a certain information and ready, that's it. It clicked, and you know, it's like, yeah. I have another friend. She's also on the page. She started last year. She did I don't know how many days. She's French speaker, so she doesn't like to. But she told me that her sinuses were cleared after I don't know how many years. You know, 20 of not breathing correctly. Yeah, so I told I will mention her experience. Yeah.
Doesn't speak English at all.
Well, yes, but she's shy.
Yeah. So she did how long on MFS?
Last year, over 60 days. I don't No, yeah.
There's so many people that are doing, and we know
Yes,
hear from them.
yes. And this year, she ordered again tinctures, and I don't know how long. She said that she wanted to do shorter ones.
Yeah.
You know.
The funny thing is, like, when I started buying the Concord grape juice here, over 4 years ago, it was available everywhere. Now we have problems finding it.
Yes, I've noticed this here as well. Yeah.
People are using it for whatever reason. They see here MFS, they think it's a juice fast or whatever. But it's very difficult to find the juice sometimes.
Yeah, there is a juice you find, but it's also very, very expensive. It's that kosher juice.
Yeah.
We use this one here in Ontario. They have this one.
Yes.
Probably in Montreal.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it here. I mean, well, the shops I'm buying around,
Yeah, this is everywhere, but it's more expensive, and even the prices of this went up about a month ago.
Yeah, how much do you pay for that? It's
so wholesale we're getting it. I think he's selling it now it's like free delivery. I think it's $75 right now per case. It used to be
per case. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he increased it by $15 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gonna increase a little bit more in August.
Oh, I see. I did not find
I guess there is high demand.
A shop to deliver yet.
Yeah, I know.
But I will try harder.
I use Welch's full of chemicals.
Yeah, I did. I did use the
People
Welch.
make fun of it all the time. Like, yeah, I drink the chemicals.
Well, yes.
It doesn't have chemicals.
We choose to do that.
It's not organic. It's in glass. It's in plastic. It's
Yeah. Okay.
arsenic.
Yeah.
Seeds have arsenic.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, the only thing about it is that there is water, right? Because they use concentrate. And they add a little bit of water.
Mm.
It's just the juice. It would be nice. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do what we, the best with what we have.
The best we can in the situations we're in.
Exactly.
Even if the juice has sulfur and you can't find anything else.
Yeah. Thank God that we find this grape juice here. There are other. I read on the page there are other countries. It's hard to find.
Yeah. Well, we have the different. It doesn't have to be the grape, right? Watermelon, pretty much. Get anywhere they can juice it and cook it themselves.
I haven't seen watermelon juice.
You'd have to make it yourself, most likely.
Yeah, that's
what Kelly Kibbe did.
Yeah, this would be possible in Romania to do that, to juice your own watermelon, because in especially August, it's September, it's full of watermelon. It's so delicious. Yeah. I am planning next summer to stay there for the entire summer.
Cooked watermelon tastes like candy to me.
Yeah. Next conference is in Bangor in UK. Yes, in Wales. Okay. And then I will stay in probably until August to. Eat all the fruits because I can still find trees with, in the countryside. I still have friends, and they grow their own fruits. That it's beautiful. No chemicals. They have kids, and they just save it for themselves. They don't sell it. They don't. Yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, you still can do that. Yeah. In Ontario, when I was shortly, 2017, living in Toronto, actually in North York. The building I was in, there were some apple trees there. It was unusual for me to see here,
Yeah, there are. Yeah, apples that grow here.
Yeah.
I have this year we got a dwarf apple tree outside.
Oh,
Just a stick right now.
so nice. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, one day, I will have my own garden.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, one day.
My first time growing stuff this spring ever.
Yeah, that would be my dream to to live in a community of people, to like Master Faster community, or I don't know, like
It's so beautiful.
alternative living, growing your own stuff, and one day it will come. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Your wish is your command.
exactly. Yeah, I'm ready. When will come to me, I will say yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I want to say that I am amazed by Ranjit. I am one of her biggest fan. I am,
Light.
yeah, I'm watching her journey so closely. Yeah. I'm very impressed with her dedication, and she's so focused. And I was, oh my God, when she said 180 days, oh my God, it's so long, but it's doable, you see? Wow.
It's easier than eating.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed, it is.
It is easy. And I remember when I think it was the beginning of the year, you were on Zoom, and I said, because the soul told me to do it, right? I can't deny the soul. I can't deny that. It's just, you just can't. And I said, oh, it's already done. Remember when I
Yes,
said,
yes.
yeah, and I remember, and you said, yeah, it's already done. And I'm going, yeah, it's already done. It's just that the matter world has to catch up because it's in slow motion
Yeah,
to
exactly.
that. But yeah, but it's actually really, as you can imagine, it's just a normal. You don't see food, like, as you know, you don't see food as it is food. It's just something different. Yeah, it's sort of
Yeah.
different world. It's amazing. It's amazing how you can. You're right. Focus. What you said, Gabriela, like what you've done. You've just been so focused in what you wanted to achieve in your human experience, and that's it. It's a decision.
Yes.
It's a decision, and then you make a focus, and then you're willing to go through whatever you're willing to go through to be with God, really, the Creator, whatever that takes. I don't think it even has to do with the fasting. It's just to be with God. Have those higher, those feelings that you get. You would have that, like those feelings that you get and that love, and
yeah.
it's just
Connected.
amazing. Connected, yeah.
All the time.
It is, and people feel it. I love that when other people feel it. Like my husband and I met this when I met this guy the other day. We hadn't met him before, and when I shook his hand and we met eye to eye, he stopped and paused for a moment because I knew that he saw God, like he saw light or saw something.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, he couldn't look at my eyes anymore. I tried really hard, but it's interesting. But it's just that's what you carry. You carry that, and that's what pulls you through. Like I'm sure you would have had something that pulled you through. Your first one, because those first 30 days or 21 days, anyone in that start this are the most tough. Someone said to me, "What was the most toughest?" It's always been the first 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of the first.
Yeah. Of my first one. Yeah.
Yeah, first one, yes.
First one.
Yeah, second one is going easier, and you know what you do. Just for me this year, it was like mentally, not. I don't know how it was. It was not that I wasn't focused, but Mm. It was something, who knows?
Maybe because you started on the full moon.
Yes, I said that. Yeah, I thought that. Next time, new moon. Don't choose full moon. Yeah, because full moon is like something you wanna go on a new moon, something you wanna grow, So like master fast.
Yeah.
It's better to start on a new moon. Yeah. But okay, we learn every time.
Now is always a good time.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Anybody else? Everybody's quiet
Steve,
today.
how is your master fast going?
Who? Steve.
Steve.
Oh yeah, Steve.
I had a break again on Thursday.
Oh.
The kidney pain literally doubled me over.
Wow.
So,
You got some
oh yeah,
work to do there.
I mean that's no exaggeration. I was bent right over, left side.
What were you doing?
I was standing in the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know much anything.
was it full master fast?
Yes,
Uh,
11 days. It was the 12th day.
12 days.
Yeah.
And, dry?
No, it wasn't dry day.
No. Okay.
Do you feel any pain going down your legs?
No, it's all
Yeah.
localized right in the kidney area.
Have you ever got your chiropractor to check out SI joints?
No.
Because what happens when the kidneys go into spasm, it usually pushes on the spine nerve and you get the more pain. And sometimes it shoots down the legs and stuff. But,
I've had surgery for that. I know what that.
oh, you have?
Well, I had a cyst.
Mm.
2016. Yeah,
Okay.
had a cyst growing into it was pushing on the nerve.
Right.
Right into the spine.
You had it removed.
Yeah, I had no choice. There was that was the option. That was it.
Okay, well, okay, so, okay.
Castor oil? Castor oil?
What's that?
Do you do castor oil packs on your kidneys?
I don't have the
Yeah.
time now because of the way my work schedule is.
But when you're sleeping. I used to do it before I sleep.
Yeah,
I used to do it while sleeping, so it's
But
very comfortable.
before you go to bed.
All right. I'll try
You're going to
and-
have to wrap yourself up.
I have everything. I just haven't done it.
Wrap yourself up with saran wrap so you don't make a mess.
Yeah.
And sleep with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have actually how to do it in the product in the tools. You will see how to do it. I put it together.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was just
3 days on, 3 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off.
Yeah, I sleep with it, especially in winter. It's very nice because it's warm. I actually have the heat pad.
Mm.
It's electrical. You don't have to do that, but I
and
sleep.
the days that I don't work in the afternoons. I can lay down for an hour. That usually takes care of it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I mean, and then I can get up and go about the rest of the day.
Keep massaging them daily.
Yeah, I will keep with the castor oil and then massaging. Maybe increase your daily dry. Maybe.
It's worse on the dry.
It's
Yeah, I know.
It's worse on the dry.
wow. What about when you're eating on your dries?
Like eating and dry fasting.
When you're doing your weekly dries and monthly dries, and when you're eating,
Oh no, not a problem. No problem.
no problem.
No problem. It's only in the fast. In the full master fast.
Okay.
Okay, well,
So, what's your longest dry?
68 hours.
Okay.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was just shy of something. Just shy of 3 days.
Keep moving that up slowly.
Yeah.
When you're eating.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, I know.
when you're eating,
Of
right?
course. Huh?
When you're eating, what's your daily dry?
15 hours.
Yeah, you can. I would increase that.
Increase it.
Yeah.
When you're eating, it's fine.
Yeah, like if you do one meal, maybe do it everything within 3 hours.
Yeah, I tried that the
Maybe
last
do,
couple of days. I did okay the first day. Yesterday was, yeah.
because that
Our
will.
holiday season down there. We had the 4th was our holiday, so
Oh yeah.
so much idle time.
Yeah,
I
kidneys.
tend to pick. If I'm not focused, I just pick.
So as soon as you
I end up eating for 8 hours. It's crazy.
break the fast, Steve, the pain subsides.
Almost immediately,
Wow.
within an hour.
There's something's got to break loose there. So
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. I had a little residual yesterday, but I was out. It was 90 degrees here. I was out in the garden for 6 hours yesterday. So if I exert too much, it gets worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah, obviously.
detox, more detox.
Yeah, I know. Something's coming. I don't. It'll come.
yeah, well, you'll have the breakthrough.
This time I was only able to make 11 days. I mean, I mentioned last week it started up on day 4.
Yeah.
The time before that, I think it was day 12, and I made 18. So the window's getting a little shorter.
Take a little break from a long MFS for at least maybe a couple of months or so, and just continue with your weekly thing, and then
Daily dry.
increase your dries and so on and so forth, and go that route. But just
Feels so much better when I'm fasting, though.
Like maybe do one meal a day.
That's hard. So much better when I'm in the fast. Even with the pain.
You're doing what, 3 days a week on the MFS when you're eating?
I'm trying, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We're with you, man.
It'll get there.
Yeah, and focus maybe on the 3 days a week of eating or fast eating, right?
I feel, because I've been through
no.
severe kidney pain, man. Seeing stars. I know what you're talking about. It ain't fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Gino literally doubled over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I was bedridden, man, for almost 2 years, so I know what you're talking about. It's not fun. At
No.
least you're moving around.
That's just my path. That's all.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. It'll break when it breaks.
Yeah. Just be patient. It'll break. It's
Oh, it doesn't deter me at all. I embrace it, honestly.
awesome.
Honestly.
Yeah. Most people get scared, and
Not at all.
that's
You
what.
know, Rhonda was talking about being pulled into this, and it's like the day I found this site, I knew it. That's it.
It's
No,
difficult
there's
for.
This is the path. This is it.
It's difficult for so many out there, from what we've been taught and everything, to be able to try and guide them, saying this is part of the path, and they just can't comprehend it, and going through all this pain. It's part of the journey. For not everybody, for some of us, yeah, it's part of the journey. The pain is part of the journey. Some of us going to have a little pain, some of us going to have a lot of pain, some of us going to have medium pain. It's all part of the journey, and we embrace it.
Yeah, well, with all the crap I put in my body, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that's all right. We've all been there. But like Gabriela, she had a nerve regenerate. That's not something, little thing. That's huge. That's impossible for most people to believe. So we keep going, and keep going, and keep going, and keep going, and keep going.
Yeah, and massage the kidneys. That's another thing. As much as you can, all these little things will help loosen up.
Yeah, it's got to break free when it's ready to break free. When did you start, Steve?
The first fast was January 3rd.
Okay, so just this year. Okay.
Still.
Yeah. Once you're gone through about a year, I would try and go for a long dry, as long as you possibly can.
Maybe colon feeding. colon feeding, so it can help you out a little bit. Actually, that's something you can do now.
Yeah.
When you do your dries, wash your colon. And yeah, I would invest in more than an enema. I think enemas are not as efficient as.
I do a colonic at least twice a month.
Yeah.
You're a handyman.
When I started the first fast, I was doing them weekly. So, and that helps. That even helps with the kidney.
Sure, for sure. You're a handyman. You should be able to build one simply, some wood and stuff. Yeah. If you have the time.
Not long. I'll have time soon. I've got this. I just said before. I've got this side project that should have been done 3 months ago. The next couple of weeks, it should be out.
Very good.
Then I have more time.
Hey, Gina, can I ask a question?
Of course.
Is that, when my 180 days, I think, finish around 22nd of August or whenever it is, but then I have thought about doing the colon feeding and doing a very long dry, but I want to take it into, because our season changes on the 1st of September, and I think you guys' seasons changes in the mid-September.
21st.
So we go 21st. So we go into spring, and I think you go into autumn.
Right.
So I want to work everything around doing a very long dry with the colon feeding around my full moon and everything like that. Maybe other people can give me some ideas here. So finish on that like a real bang. You know what I mean? I finish on the real bang, and because why not? Why not? And then go into the liquid hybrid. But when I go into the liquid hybrid, and I wanted to ask Rana this question, is that I don't want to. I'm so lazy now. I don't want to cut things or juice cucumber. I just want to go get pasteurized green juice. Is that
Pasteurized?
So? Yeah, if I can get pasteurized, you can get them here in Australia, pasteurized green juices. So instead of just going juicing, I'm just going to get that because
I've never tried pasteurized green juices myself. Like we've done broths, which you're brewing the vegetables and the tea, the herbs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I can't see it being anything negative myself, because the thing about the cooking is when we're taking in the fibers, that's where the big problems come. And they're really obstructive. But the juices, the greens are in general they're more difficult to digest. Even when I'm doing green juices, I can feel it's a lot more work for the body to digest than it is the fruit juices. A lot more, and it's just juice. So cooked, try it out. I don't know. Let us know. Experiment.
Yeah, I tried some with my mum when I did my break.
Right.
We went and got some green pasteurized juice because I couldn't eat. I found it too difficult to have vegetables or salad. After I broke the 108, I was okay with the fruit, but they started to get heavy. So I said to my mum, "Let's try this green pasteurized juice." So that was
How did it feel?
Oh, great! Actually, really good. It didn't feel hard on the digestive system at all. Actually, it felt better than having the mango.
It would probably be easier to assimilate process than the raw green juice, because when you cook it, you bring it to higher order, right?
Yeah.
Just like cooked food, right? It's so easy to assimilate. Yeah. And then we got to deal with the fiber.
Yeah. It's easier on the body when it's juice versus eating the mangoes.
Yeah.
Digesting it all, right?
Because I'm visualizing, because that man that put up the photo of the fruit and the vegan food, then the mind says, okay, third fridge. So the third fridge is going to be, grape juice and pasteurized juices and have that, right? Because I'm thinking, what's my fridge going to look like?
we keep things simple, right?
Yeah, I'm not making it hard. And my husband's really supportive. Like, he's really, really good. Like, I don't have to cook for him or anything. He does. So it's he's only my responsibility. And so the rest, everyone else can bugger off because I don't cook anymore. So yeah, so I'm just thinking, oh, what's the fridge going to look like? Well, it's going to have grape juice, cranberry juice. We have watermelon and coconut pasteurized juices here mixed together. So I'm thinking about, I don't know if that's okay with the hybrid, but I'll try it. But I'm thinking everything juicy, you know, pasteurized easy, and then have pasteurized green juices. But I want to do longer dries, Gino. I mean, I know that I'm just doing the normal protocol at the moment, but I like to get into doing 2.5 days a week, and then go into as long as possible when the season changes. But I feel good. Like, I find I'm all right.
Yeah, it feels good.
So it pulls me. Yeah, the dries pull me.
Yeah,
And I'm okay. Yeah. And so do you reckon I'm ready for that at the end of the year? What's your feeling?
You're what, a year into this?
Yeah. And I've been good. Like, you know, I've done over, I don't know.
You've been you're
You really have to.
you're one of the few of the few.
I think it's very important that you know how it
There's
feels.
no rush.
How it feels, you know, how to handle your body when you feel tired, what to do, and that's experience usually, right? What to do when you're feeling dizzy, what to do when you're feeling like it's because you.
I don't have too many dizzies now. I had a lot of dizzies in the 108, but there's not too many dizzies. There's sometimes I feel a bit weak.
You cleared a lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the energies. It's the power. Like I said, it's the power of the energy fields that I'm dealing with at the moment. So it's not the physical. It's none of that. It's all to do with like I feel it's too hot. The energy fields are very high, so I'm forever grounding myself. So I'm actually going through a process of knowing how to contain the energy field. So that's why I give a lot, because I can't hold the love in. So you can't hold those high energy fields in. You actually have to, you know, feed it out. So that is what I'm dealing with. That's my looking for my solution in that. And the dries do bring it out more, yes, and the dries on the moons bring it out more on season changes. But I actually want to feel that. I want to learn how to manage that high vibration and what God wants me to do in order to get that. I can't slow down, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, like the biggest challenge is, what will people do after they do these long dries? That's the question, right? And most people fail miserably. Right? That's why I'm really wary to suggest to do for, you know, push people for that kind of stuff. I'm all for the long dries. I'm all for a very long master fast, but you need to be ready. And how do we know we're ready? Well, when you've got a few decades behind you of doing it over and over and over and over again, you get a feel of it, right? And that's what people have to come to, that realization. Some people get it sooner, you know, they'll be able to get into the feel and understand. But the risk of coming off these long MFSs or long dries and going off board, it's not something you want to be putting yourself into. That's the challenge. So if your mindset is razor sharp of where you're going to go and what you're going to do, yeah, you know, go for it. Go for it. Understand that you're responsible for all your decisions and choices, and follow the protocols of doing it prudently and safely.
Yeah, absolutely, Gina. I'm 100% responsible for my choices and decisions with my husband. So I completely agree with that.
Go as long as you can,
because
as you feel, but
see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we know with the protocol, you know, we know it's like pretty good, you know, easy to do with no problems. but once you start experimenting, you really want to know what you're doing. Be in touch. I mean, you know, you'll be experimenting.
See,
right?
the challenge is,
you'll be outside the
Ranjit,
protocol, but of course we are supporting.
the challenge is, Ranjit, at the beginning, you know, I'm explaining that, you know, the more dry you do, the more powerful the fast. And what do people do? They don't listen to anything else. They go into the long dries. They're not around no more. They got a few of these guys got in trouble because they're trying to be a hero. They're trying to beat records or something, trying to do 12 days. They've never fasted before. What are you trying to do?
I mean, I've done a mistake too, you know, many times.
They're not listening to what we're talking about. This is a lifestyle. It's not an event over and over and over. That's all we talk about. It's a lifestyle right from day one. And people don't hear that. People hear 12-day dry fast. I want to do 12-day dry fast. And they're coming from a sad diet or whatever. So, you know, the metamorphosis. Like
I've got complete.
You've done 108 and you've done short in between. You've started another and you're over 108. That's huge. Not too many people do that.
And a 2.5 day weekly dry, that's also very long. And you're going to feel that. If you don't feel it the first month, I am sure you will start feeling it after. But you will feel it. You might not feel it immediately. It takes time, but then you will feel like, okay, now I'm really digging deep. And you will start seeing big changes. But you want to be very careful. It's a little bit long.
Just think about, go back in your memory. When you started the first MFS, where were you at physically, mentally, emotionally? And where are you at today? Like transform-wise, physically, mentally, emotionally. You're not the same person.
Oh, I'm not the same person. You can tell in the videos on the Facebook group. You go have. I looked at my first couple of ones and I went, I don't even know who you are.
Exactly.
Like I know, Like I go, who are you? Like you're not even. Yeah, okay. So the soul guided me. That's what I mean. Like it's not me. But I agree. But I listen to you and Rana so closely because I knew. Yeah, the dries are where it happens, right? So you've got to allow the body the physical form to adapt and change, to go through this sort. It's sort of like it's sort of like I know that I'm aware and I see it more. Like I would not recommend anyone to do what I've done. There's just absolutely no way, because the reason why is that you have to change your whole environment. So
you have to change.
There has to be everything has to change.
You have to be ready for change.
Yeah.
You know, like in this short period of time, you went through this massive metamorphosis. Now, what happens when people go through that? They come out and they go back to food.
Some of them
and emotionally they haven't caught up. And that's where the trouble starts, right?
Yeah.
Because it takes time. You know, we've been doing whatever for decades and generations of our ancestors and so on. It's not going to happen in a year or two. This metamorphosis is a continual process over years and years and years. And it's very difficult for to get that message across. And people still don't get it. We've been talking about it for 4 years. They still don't get it because we're into in this realm of instant gratification, false instant gratification. It's all false, right? Propaganda. Take this pill, you're okay, right? And that's the challenge, right? Take this drug, take this, take that.
Ranjit, are you thinking of going back to eating at all?
Oh, no, the goal is to do liquid hybrid forever. Well, not forever. I can't say forever, but the goal is to do liquid hybrid MFS as long as I possibly am able to. My body says yes to that. If my body says something else, then I will go. Like not my body. It's just
whether somebody did it or not is irrelevant. We know it's possible. And I just said this to Marin before, and he's still going, right?
Yeah.
He's the only one that's done it and doing it, right?
Yeah.
And you know, how can you convey this message when nobody's done it? Well, because there's a knowing when you've been doing this for so many decades. Why am I not doing it? I can give you a billion reasons and a billion excuses, just like everybody else. It's just not time for me now. Whatever. When it's time, of course you can do it. There's no question at all. There's people out there that are not drinking or eating anything, right? There's people, whether you believe it or not, they are out there.
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very few.
But they also
they're out there.
transformed
Yeah,
over
it's
years.
over many, many,
Many years, yeah.
many year process. I've not heard of anybody doing it in a fast process. It's just
No.
never. It's all
No,
a many year process that people went through. It's because that metamorphosis, it's,
You have to be ready.
yeah, you have to be ready, but it's a very slow motion process in this realm. That's all it is. Like, we can be ready, we know where we're going, but things are happening, so on and so forth. And as everything's, as we're evolving to that state, you know, we just embrace the process, no matter where it takes us.
Yeah, I think you're right about
everybody. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, but I think it's the answer to your question, Rana. Yeah, it's definitely liquid. More, you know, as long as I possibly. But I just love the dry, so I might just stick to the protocols to the end of the year with the dries and just have fun on the season change, and see where 2020 takes me. But you're right in what you say, Gino and Rana, is that when you do something like this, you know you can't go back. So I knew beforehand that I wasn't going to go back. So I already knew that. The timing.
Thing is, I've heard other people say that. Many people, and a lot of them went back, right? So that we hear this.
I mean,
who knows? Maybe that might happen. I don't know. That
yeah, I mean,
could be
I don't think
a possibility.
I don't think too many people said I don't want to eat again.
No, not that, but
only very few. I mean, I was one of them actually. I did a long fast, 116, 17 days maybe last year, but I went back to eating. But not many people said I don't want to eat again, other than Marine.
Only Marine.
I said, but I fell off. But I was determined. I was really determined until maybe I somehow thought, oh, maybe I'll eat every once in a while. And when I started eating, I was like, no, it's not once in a while. It doesn't work like that, you know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's a balance between fasting and eating, and some people are doing amazing with that.
Yeah.
It's not easy though. It's much easier to fast or eat.
As you know, I'm big on dries. That's where
I know.
Everything happens. All the man.
No, I just. I mean, I'm in a fasted state too. So you know, like when you're in a fasted state, you know, you're very clear and you're very sort of. And you're right, Rana. I know, like when I've had my experience of my break, and you start eating, you feel that whole stuff, you know, come back, but it comes back in a bang, not in a slow process. Like it's just sort of, and I know, and that's a feeling I don't. What keeps me going, to tell you the truth, is my only fear is that I'm not tapped in with God. Okay, so that's my only.
That's the problem with most of us.
Yeah. So that's it. So, yeah.
That's the answer. That's right there, what you just said.
Oh yeah.
Because the mirror of truth is there, and we're not ready to face that, and we go back to whatever, right? So we can make all the excuses and all that. My body told me to quit, to stop, because it's all bullcrap. We're not ready to face that mirror of truth. The mirror of truth is very clear when you're in this state, as you know.
Very clear.
You can't deny. You can bullshit yourself, but you won't be able to look yourself in the eye.
You can't. Yeah, you got it in full integrity, full responsibility, on notice. The whole gamut of everything is just there. And that you are right. It is that. It's the light. It's that. And if you can't face that, then it's difficult. You've got to be able to face that. That is so true, Gino. Like honestly, even in the 108, I reckon even doing your 40s and your 60-day MFS fast, you know it, and that's the power. But I just wanted to ask you about that. I really appreciate your love and support, and everyone else that gives me so much encouragement, and I feel their love so much that I have to give it back. That's good. I like your perspective, and nobody do what I do, because it's a change forever.
Yeah.
if you're willing to make that change.
It really is, yeah. I mean, you're doing amazing. You already chose. I totally support what you're doing right now, which is, you chose your level before you started this fast. You knew you wanted to go like level 6, 7, and for that I say go ahead, do a long run if you want, because you know what you're getting into. You're getting into mainly fasting lifestyle, so completely support. I totally support that. But if somebody wants to, let's say, eat 4 days a week, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, I would say don't do 108, because it's a long one. It's a big change, and you're gonna go back to a big change again with all this eating. So you're doing amazing. You really are doing amazing. You're an inspiration. Not many people, again, have said that they want to stop eating. Okay, not many people have said that. It was Marine, and I remember when I said it, I was like maybe the second person after Marine. Nobody said that, but I fell off, right? I actually lost quite a bit of weight. It was last year, and I was doing a long daily dry. I went a little bit off the protocol, and I was doing a long daily dry, and after like 100 and something days on the full protocol, and yeah, I was starting to feel really tired. Like I couldn't drink enough. It was Ramadan last year. I was drinking a lot of juice in a short period, and I remember throwing up and stuff like that, and feeling dizzy sometimes. It was not fun. Yeah. So you have to know what you're doing. Thank you, sweetheart. So you really have to know what you're doing. If you do, it's totally fine. We absolutely support experimenting outside the protocol, but you have to know that you're experimenting outside the protocol, and you're doing something that not many people do, but you know what you're doing and what you're getting into, so we support people who are responsible. Yeah, if you're
Death is part of the protocol. Are you gonna accept it?
Yeah, I mean, and I sometimes I think,
we can't escape.
Yeah, I mean, after a few years on the mask fast, I was thinking you can, play a little bit with the protocol, but you have to have a few years behind your back, right, Gino?
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, I was thinking about it.
I see, people bastardizing master fast out there, and they think they know better. Okay, no experience, and they're repeating my words with no experience behind them. It's just like, my goodness gracious, people have the gall to do this stuff. Okay, they have their whatever. It doesn't matter. Like I said, we don't have all the answers, but when you've gone through so many experiences, you start seeing patterns and things, and if you have the tenacity to try and grasp what's going on, in which I've had that because of my stubbornness, and a lot of people have been doing fasting for years and decades and so on, and they just don't get it, what it's about, right? So we come from a different mold, I guess. I don't know. The master fasters. When you get that taste of the feeling, it's very addictive, and people want to rush it into things, and that's the challenge. Patience, persistence, consistency. Give yourself 5-10 years of living this lifestyle, see where it's going. That's really the reality of the matter. It took me basically up 2.5 decades or so, and now I'm going to 3 decades, past 3 decades. But with the information we have now, I can see people grasping the experiences in a shorter time. How fast, everybody will be different, but because if they follow protocol, they don't have to go through all the ups and downs and tribulations and experiments that I went through, which took so many years. And they're just bang, digging, and getting the job done, and allowing soul to move in and do the process, because that's the only thing that really is doing everything.
That's why Master Fast is so powerful, Gino.
It's nothing to do physicality.
Nothing to do with it. No.
I don't know how much more we can say. It's not a juice fast.
No.
Doing pasteurized juice as a juice fast is ludicrous. That's all I'm saying. And a lot of people are doing that out there. Nobody's ever promoted cooked juice ever in the fasting world. I've never seen it. I've been at this 3 decades, and now they're doing that out there. That's why I can't find juice. And people are going to get themselves in trouble. Some will be able to make it through, but it's pretty. It is what it is. People are going to have to do what they're going to have to do and experience what they have to experience. This is the way it is. We elevate all the souls. But go for it, Angie.
Yeah, no, I have to say it in the group here, because you're my family, and I love you too much. So I feel it's not just my experience; it's all of our. Even though I'm in doing it, but I feel that you're all with me. If you know what I mean, like, you're inside of me, sort of thing. So I won't do. I'm staying here. You know what I mean? Like, MFS is my world, and so we do it together.
Yeah.
And we.
This is what it's all about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Out there on your own, good luck. Really, good luck. Like I said, it's more difficult now than it's ever been. Like when I started way back then, it was pretty simple and easy to do fasting. Now with this fast-paced realm that we've developed, we're being bombarded left, right, and center with all kinds of things, right? Very, very challenging for people. Unless you go out in a cave somewhere in the forest, in the jungle, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. I don't think you do. I think, no, we can have our human experience, and we can be with our families, and we can,
of course.
I like that. I love being human. I love this world and this matter world. I love my mind. I love everything. So I love, like, why just live the human experience the best way we can, and how we can do it. It's just, I love Master Fast. I love this place. Nothing else. It's not even about wanting to give up. Wasn't even about wanting to give up food. It had nothing to do with that. It just had to do with the being with the soul and learning to how you have that intimate relationship with the soul and how you have that human experience. It didn't even have to do with anything. Master Fast just allowed the channels to open up for that to happen, for me anyway. I'm sure it happens for other people, but it just that the fact that you don't have to be fed by food or nourished by food, man, that just blows me away. I never knew that.
Well,
and however,
physical food never feeds you. It's
lie, Gina, that lie, that entrapment. It wasn't even about wanting to give up food. It was just about, knowing the truth more so than anything else. And, however we do it, like how you got your levels set up. It suits everybody. There's options for everyone, and it just suit like what Gabrielle's doing. Like, she's found a sort of balance. I just really love hearing that, the way that you can have be human and do what you want to do, and you can tap into those other realms whenever you want and manifest whatever you want in the human experience through the other realms. It's all about enjoying life and being in joy, I think, while in a beautiful, healthy body, like in a beautiful physical form or vessel, that the power of the Creator lives through you and you are in complete service. It's got nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with you whatsoever. It all has to do with that's how I feel, that it flows through, so the love flows through. So you're always in service to others. All the time. It's
Ranjit, it is so beautiful to listen to you, and and it always reminds me. It's nice to hear it from people who are fasting, because it's a reminder of how amazing it feels to do the master fast. It really does, and we forget, when we're eating, we forget. Even if it's it's amazing. It's really, thank you for inspiring us.
oh no, it's okay.
Like felt it, we forget very quickly, and thank you for being there, for reminding us over and over and over that it's just amazing, and it's totally fine to let go of food, even just the thought of food in the future. It's okay, let it go. So what if you never have food again? You feel amazing right here, right now. What else do you want? I mean, seriously, how greedy can we be? You feel amazing.
Yeah.
You feel amazing right here, right now. Why do you need more? Why do you need another? I mean, you have every single experience when you fast. Why do you need another experience, like the food experience? Because you can experience it when you're fasting, really. You can remember how a mango tastes. And in fact,
Yeah.
I believe that you can make it taste better when you think about it this way, because you would most likely think of the best mango that you've ever had, not a random mango that you would buy that might not taste good, right? Same thing with watermelon. When you think about it, it would be the best watermelon.
I can remember a peach in my backyard when I was a kid, how delicious it was. Like that's powerful, right? And that emotion, how that goes stays in our memory. That one particular peach, I can still remember it. But what do we feed with physical foods? We feed our addictions. That's what we feed. When we feed the soul through fields, we don't need anything else.
Yeah, like I was thinking over the week, I was eating, and I was thinking, no, it doesn't feel good. Of course, it feels much better to fast. And I was like, okay, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna have my last few meals, and then I'm gonna really start a fast. And I don't want to eat. I really don't care for food. But it was always tomorrow, that I will start. I will always start tomorrow, because you want to eat this last meal, and tomorrow never comes, kind of, I'm sure many people know that. It's so I was thinking to myself, that's it. I really don't want to eat. I don't care for food. Maybe I'll just make food for people, because I love food, but I don't need to eat it. And I started the fast again today, and I go to the garden, and for the first time I see the beans, string beans. Yeah, string beans, they're called, the yellow beans. The yellow beans, okay, the plants, they're producing the beans. And I was like, oh my god, this is how they look. This is how I've never seen them on a plant. And it was so exciting. I was like, oh my god, I have to try these. So I didn't eat, but I was thinking, I want to eat this. And so the temptation to the food, I don't know, maybe because it's the beginning of a fast, it's my first day, so there's always more temptation to break it. But I think when you're like past 30 days, 40 days, you don't really care so much. Yeah. On my birthday, when I made a lot of food for people, it was all cleaner food, like I didn't put oils, didn't put salt. It was I made it from my heart. I loved it. And then I thought, oh, I might as well try it. So there was temptation to try it. I mean, there's always a pull, kind of, to eat, but not strong. You can say easily no, but there was always like,
well, there's triggers everywhere,
like triggers. I don't know, I think it can be tricky, I think, when you make food. Yeah. Do you see yourself making food for people if you don't want to eat again?
No, I would only ever do it for joy. I would never, if my husband said to me, oh, because he misses curries, because I converted him to be a curry muncher, marrying me. So he misses curry. So I always say, I will just go to my mum's, okay? And
Yeah.
but if he asks, he won't ask me to do it because he's just so like he's just so supportive. Like he sees my changes and he feels my energy fields. And you know what? Can I say something that I had a realization on? You think that you asked to do this for this freedom. It's not you that asked for it. It's everyone else around that loves you and cares about you actually prayed for you to be this way. So it's not even you. It's the other people. And I know my parents, my husband, my people that love and care for me, they want freedom for me more than they probably want it for themselves. And it's the same for me. Like, I want freedom. I pray for all of you all the time. I say, I want you to feel this more than I want to feel it. And and it comes from a place where you think that, you know how you had that feeling of unworthiness or you don't deserve and that stuff, right? It's actually, I feel it's about not you. That love that comes through and you feel the residue from God or the Creator has to flow through you because you want it more for others. And that's where that service of the soul comes in, that all these people that love and care about me wanted this for me without them even realizing that they wanted it for me, because they want to feel the fields. They want to feel the that loop of infinity that you talk about, Gino. They're giving, and they're doing it. Everyone's doing it. They're not as tapped in. That's all it is. But they're doing it. So the power, so the power of prayer, or the power of that intention. Like, how can a parent not want a child to be free? And how can a child not want their parents to be free? Like, I want this more for my mum and dad than they want it for me. So who's doing this? Who is actually really doing this? This isn't about me or about you, or you know this anyway. So I know I'm talking stuff we know. But like, when you feel it in your body, like when you feel it, and then you have the experience of it, then you go, I have knowledge. I have information that's given to me. So how dare I not share and give that back? Because this world is, it's so much good stuff going on, and there's like a responsibility in it, a deep responsibility in it. And the deeper you go, the more you realize that this is happening. But it's got nothing to do with you. You think you're fasting for you, or you think you're cleaning out your channels for you. Yeah, sure, there's some rewards and benefits and you get all the high feelings. You're not even doing it for you. It's got nothing, absolutely with nothing to do with us.
It's all about
whatsoever.
service.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about service. When you get down to the nitty gritty, you get down to it,
I feel
doesn't matter.
I feel it's honestly, it's all these blessings that we have, and we're feeling, it's from God. We're rewarded for being good. We're being rewarded for being good. And you're probably, maybe you were good to many people, and this is how you're rewarded. You're rewarded back. You're blessed.
Oh, definitely, yeah. The giving, you're right, Rana. When you give the love back from that place, far out, you get it back 1,000-fold. That's the energy field. That's the thing I want to learn, or got the soul to teach me, is I'm not in much low energy fields anymore. So I don't get caught up in any lower emotions anymore. If it comes up, it flows through very, very quickly, very fast. It gives me teaching to teach others. It's not even for me. But the higher ones are just really high, and got to learn what you do with it. Like as Gabrielle said before, like you feel like you're flying. There's space in your body. You feel like this energy swirling around in you, and you actually feel like your anti-gravity, like you feel it, like this thing, like you light. It's funny.
And that's why the body grows.
Yeah, my neck. Yeah, yeah, you can feel it. Yeah, you sort of stretch out. But I won't talk. I talk in another way. So I apologise to everyone here because I talk in this other, whatever I'm going through, and I don't know if people feel it or they think whatever. But I talk in this other. That's where I am.
Yeah,
Mum, I'm good. My mind's good. I function. I'm okay. Like.
There's no apologies. You know.
We love it.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inspiring us. You really are. Here,
Oh, you inspire me.
yeah, you remind us where
You inspire me. Like,
yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, you're telling us like that we have the courage. We all do. We can do this just like you are. Yeah.
Everybody could do it. When it's when you hear somebody wrote the other day that I can't do this, whatever. Where's that program coming from? It's just bullcrap, right? And how do you get through to people like that? I've been trying to figure it out, and it's just they're not ready. And like I said, in all these years, over 99% would not commit and change their lifestyle. So I said, what am I doing wasting my time with these people? When they're ready, they'll come and find me.
Once in a while, you'll have somebody like Ranjit.
Yeah, that's how it works. You know,
Who's
once in a while, you have
us,
somebody. Oh, okay,
you know?
man, here's a beautiful soul who's ready.
Yeah, you're ready.
You know, but hey, the other guys, you know, they need to go through whatever experiences, and that's okay. But you know, anybody can make that change. Anybody, because we've seen it happen. The worst of the worst make the switch and bang!
Yeah.
Holy jeez, the transformations, right? So, your wish is your command. Either way.
You know, Latrice, I see you. I want to hear your voice.
How you doing?
Hello. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Day 64.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Still going strong. Yeah. I think I'm one of those that I'm heading towards food freedom, actually. Yeah, I said it. I put it out there now.
That's it.
But it's out there. You know, I really my soul is guiding me to these places that I'm like, what? You know, but then it somehow becomes a reality. And for the past 9 years, I've been going down this road of, eliminating a ton of addictions. And food has been the last one. And it's slowly but surely going. I mean, I have less and less food cravings, pretty much none now. Just even the thought of chewing is so foreign to me. I can watch other people eat and not want to eat it. I cook for my 7-year-old and I don't want it. It doesn't even look like food. I really don't even want him to put it in his body, but he has to make his own decisions. We all do. Yeah. That's what free will is all about. So I teach him, but it's up to him, and I don't even really want the juice. I don't want anything. I find myself, I'm on summer break right now with my job, so I'm doing a little experimenting with the protocol. Because it's just, I find it harder and harder to drink. So I'm getting one juice in these days, probably for the past 2 weeks. I know what it said, but I'm home more.
How much juice is that?
I just can't. 1 liter. I was doing 2. I only got 3 down, probably like maybe 3 days out of the whole time.
We don't
So
recommend.
I mean, yeah.
I would love to drink more, but I honestly cannot
No,
do it.
yeah, we've all been there, done that. Trust me, you're gonna feel it at some point. It's gonna be too much.
Well, then I can slow it down with a green drink, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Slow it down.
I'm not opposed to that, but I really
Some people got themselves in real trouble
Because it's your
it
first
happens
one.
quick. When you're fasting, things can and will happen quick. When you're dry fasting, they can and will happen even quicker. So the more dry fasting you do, the more things
Yeah.
switch quickly, right?
Because it's your first one. If it's not your first one, I would say, okay, you've been there, done that. You know, kind of, you understand how it feels like to go back to eating. Which you're saying you don't want to eat. Like you
no,
to break this one.
no. Liquids,
You don't see yourself breaking it. Okay.
I see myself maybe doing liquids,
Yeah.
like I was doing before this fast.
Yeah.
I mean, even before this fast, I was heading to just liquids.
For how long were you doing liquids?
Just liquids for about 3 months, but I've been raw vegan for 2 years prior to that.
So
But
before,
even with that, it was more fruit. It was more fruitarian.
so before the master fast, you were all like liquids for 3 months.
Yeah.
No food.
No, I just couldn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I kind of moved into master fast after that.
Yeah. Master fast.
And I've been doing 2 juices, 2 liters of the grape juice for the whole time, except for the last 2 weeks. It's gone down to 1. I've tried to do 2. A few of the days it's been 1.5, but I can't get it in. I get so full. And
Then do some green juice.
it's not that I don't like the grape juice.
Yeah.
I like the taste of it.
But you like
especially with the lemon in it, it tastes great.
you probably like dry fasting more, which most of us, we went through this as well. So,
I mean, I do like dry fasting more.
I know, so you're increasing your dry fasting, you're decreasing your drinking by doing 1 liter.
Well, that is true.
That is, yeah, that's a little bit
Because
more.
I drink within a certain time frame. I don't try to, because before, when I was working every day, I had a schedule. So, but now I'm off work for the next, month and a half. And so now I'm more on a looser schedule. So
you haven't eaten anything in what, 6 months?
About 6.
Huh?
5, 6 months you haven't eaten anything?
4, 5.
No, I haven't. Why 6 months? I don't know. That's just where my soul was taking me. I just didn't crave to eat. So I started on the juices. I was already doing juices anyway, but mixing it in with maybe, some fruit meals and a salad here or there. Even the salads were starting to make me feel sick and making my stomach hurt. So I was cutting back on just veggies in general. I was more fruitarian than anything, and juices. And then even the fruit was like, ugh. So then I just went to juices, and then I just found myself, I said, oh, I'm going to do a 3-day juice, but it just ended up being 3 months. And I was just going to continue on that. And I found Master Fast and went that route instead. So,
What's your daily and weekly dry and monthly?
My daily dry is probably between it's probably between 12 and 16 hours, maybe. Only for the past 2 weeks. Prior to that, it was 12.
Yeah.
12 every time.
And then weekly.
But like I said, the past 2 weeks has been a little more flexing. I've been on less of a schedule, been sleeping in more, so the dry is a little bit longer, kind of like that. And my weekly is still 24 hour. I do a 24 hour every Saturday. I'm on that now. And then my monthly, the longest has been 48 hours. Yeah, I don't go beyond that. I haven't went beyond that. But I figure that's long enough with what else, all the other stuff I'm doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, as you go longer and longer, you know, everything gets exponential. It goes more and more and more deeper, and that's why things happen.
Yeah. Well, there's always juices in the house, in the freezer, because that's how I used to store them. So if I have to do a green drink, I will. If I get into a bind and have to slow things down, I have a plan of what I'll do. I'll call you guys too.
Don't call us.
No.
We're
I've watched enough videos. I've watched
we're not
enough of the
suggesting
videos.
what you're doing, right? It's
I understand that.
you're on your own experimental stuff. We've already
I
seen so many
understand.
people get in trouble that way, and we don't recommend it. It's you know, people are trying to rush into things, and
I'm not trying to rush anything.
Yeah,
I'm just doing what feels natural.
I hear you. But Gino, when somebody cannot drink the Concord grape juice, what do you say? What do you say?
I just feel
you
extremely
break the
full.
fast. Break the fast if you can't drink it.
The reason they can't drink it is because
It's stirring things up.
And
That's
and
why you can't drink.
also, well, yeah, that's probably true because I go to the bathroom a lot more, which causes extreme anal pain from going to the bathroom so much. All the rawness in my anus.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
it's. You shared a little bit of where you came from, and you know there's a long road ahead of you of cleansing. This is, you know, it doesn't happen in a year or two, or 3 or 4. It takes a long time to clean a body.
Yeah.
Which is the physical. The mental takes longer, and the emotion takes even longer. And that's why we do this one step at a time, a 1,000,000-mile journey, one step at a time. And there's no rush because we can't rush it. And the ones that have, a few of them got themselves in trouble. But I know the feeling. It's addictive when you get into the dry fastings. The feeling is addictive because you're in a wonderful space. But there's no reason to rush anything, right? There's no reason.
No. Yeah, I don't know. When I was getting the 2 juices down, I have the extreme. I was starting to drink really early because I was up early for work, and so it was much easier. But the extreme anal pain from going to the bathroom 22, 24 times a day, it's just, yeah, I don't know how,
It just shows you how backed up you are, right? This is what you're.
Yeah, exactly. But that did slow down. It did slow down. Yeah. Even when I was still doing the 2 juices, it's slowed down. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give the anal pain time to subside. Yes. And now it definitely has subsided.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're drying it out. So I would recommend slow down to some green juices. And that's what I would recommend. Get a couple liters green juices in and go that route. If you're not planning on going back on food, there's
nope.
We've talked about earlier. I haven't seen anybody who went completely food free in 1 or 2 or 5 years. They've all done it in 10, 15, 20 years minimum. All of them.
Well, I've been on a 9-year food journey now, so.
That's food journey, not food free journey.
No, not food free journey. But if you're drinking liquids, you're still eating. It's still food. It's just a different type.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, but it's big difference from taking in solid foods from juices. Big difference. And with juices, you're in a semi-fasted state because the true fast is only dry fasting. You can't do that with even people say fruit fast. You can't get in a fasted state with eating fruit. You can with fruit juice or green juices. Green juice is much less. So this is the difference, right? Because you're removing that fiber for the body to process. The liquids is much easier, and that's when you cook it is it's a whole different ballgame because we're not dealing with the physicality anymore. But I know what's going through your mind and what you're feeling and so on and so forth. But you just don't have the experience of what's happening with your body, and we see what's coming and what may happen with you, and we don't want to see that. There's no fear. It's just it is what it is. If you're ready to accept anything that comes, no matter what it is, that's your choice. We can't make that decision for you, but we can't support people pushing themselves to experimental phases in the unknown, because we've seen it. We've seen what happens with people. It's not worth it to push people.
Yeah, I don't really feel I'm pushing myself though. I mean, it's not like there's some goal I'm trying to push myself to or somewhere I'm trying to get. I'm just kind of going with the flow, which is what I've been doing this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I understand.
So, each day I'll try to attempt to drink more juice. We'll see what happens.
Be very prudent. That's all we can tell you. We've seen it one too many times. Some people make it, but there's no purpose in risking, is what I'm saying. Not with the knowledge we have now behind us of decades and decades. There's no reason to risk anymore. People do anyway, right? People drink and drive still. They risk. That's the nature of humans. They want to risk. They eat and eat and eat and overeat, and that's another risk, right? You can die just from overeating. You can die from drinking too much water. You can die from all kinds of things. So these are the choices we make day to day. And we take responsibility for our choices, and it's all right. Everything's okay. But in society...
Hey, Gino, I remember in my 108, I know what Latrice is talking about, and most of the people that you've interviewed in the past, they go through that same experience. And I remember Sid said to me, Ranjit, you need to drink more juice. And I actually upped my juice to 3 litres. And it was around about,
Yep.
It was the second trimester in my first 108. And not that I pushed myself to drink the grape juice, and I went, yeah, you're right, because why am I feeling weak? And I was actually doing some more enemas at that time. There was this phase after that 40 days, there was this phase, and you could feel the stirring up inside you. And I went and watched more videos and people expressing exactly what Latrice was expressing. And nearly everybody goes through this little thing where they find it very difficult to drink the juice. And I had to ask myself, what's going on here? And you're right in what you said, Gino, because you're stirring up. It doesn't matter what diet or whatever you've come from. I feel it's all stuck in there. And I upped the juice to 3 litres a day. Yeah. Because someone said it to me when I did one of my videos. They said, Ranjit, you're looking very grey. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I looked really grey, and I was really tired. And then obviously there's things stirring up, and I think they're even though you feel like you don't want to. I remember I didn't want to drink more juice because I couldn't put it in my gut. Right. I remember that. Yeah. And I even the kidney tea, the plasma pudding I was always really good with. Oh, I love the plasma pudding. And yeah, even the bubbly after the dry I found hard. I remember this phase, and it was a stirring up inside your body, and I had to keep washing, and I had to keep doing more enemas, and that's when I increased my colonics to once a week as well. Just remember that middle phase, because you get these heightened feelings and you love the dries, and the dries pull you in, and this thing happens, and you think you feel really good, but you got to be careful. I agree with you, Gino, because there's this
What do the dries do? The dries squeeze,
squeeze. Yeah,
and then we wash, and then we squeeze,
yeah.
and squeeze and wash. What starts happening when you got decades of obstructions starting to break loose, and they can't get washed out? You're in trouble. That's what happens. That's what we, that's the reality of what happens. Some people will get away with it, and a few will not. And that's the challenge. Why risk it? That's what people don't understand, the process. It's decades of obstructions wanting to come out in all levels, and it's not fun when it comes on.
Mm.
These obstructions, they break loose and they can't get out. That's how, I don't know how else to explain it. Physical, mental, emotional, and they get stuck in other places, and they cause challenges.
Yeah, I still drink 1.5 to 2 liters of grape juice every day. Sometimes I do 2.5.
Yeah.
And yeah, I learned that lesson from that. But the green juice is a really good idea, Latrice. Like if you're feeling, I see that when people start introducing the green juice again, Gino, from some of the other people that they feel better when they have a green juice, because the detoxes slows it down. Yeah,
Cools things off. Yeah. The weakness and everything that people interpret it as, oh, they haven't had food for so long. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with obstructions are overtaking, and they're just in circulation, and that's where the weaknesses come. It's the obstruction. It has nothing to do with that you didn't have any nutrition and all that garbage. Nothing to do with that. Arnold there, talked about that. He knew about that, because that's why I say fasting is very misunderstood of what's actually going on. We don't know exactly, but we have the basics of how the body responds. And today's toxic man is full of more obstructions than ever in the history of humanity, probably. So we're dealing with a lot of things, and we're leaps and bounds ahead from where Arnold Air came, believe it or not, and we're more obstructed. We have to learn a lot more since his time. We have to be in a different place of understanding, because of the level of toxicity that we are at now than his time with over about 100 years ago or so. So, all is well, Latrice. Just be prudent, be prudent, be prudent. We don't need to see people get themselves in trouble for no reason. That's all.
I understand.
Are you doing enough colon washing?
I've upped it to, instead of 3, I do 6 liters now.
Oh yeah, you want to do at least 6 liters.
I know I saw at least 6 liters before, but like I said, I've been having severe issues with the anal area.
That's why you want
ever since.
That's why you gotta wash.
That's why you want to wash more.
Yeah, but it's.
I know it's uncomfortable. I've been there, done that.
Is it burning sensation?
There is extreme pain. Yeah. It's the rawness from pooping so much over the past few months.
The acid's burning and inflames. Makes it inflame. Yeah.
And also before this, I've had problems with hemorrhoids, so that has of course exacerbated itself with all the pooping. And even like during the enema, there's something in there that will move or do something which creates extreme amount of pain. I still do it anyway, but
More something? What do you mean? Because like physically when you insert
Internal hemorrhoid?
it might be an internal hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's probably what it is.
I've had
So
it.
I'll, when I'm in the process of doing the enema, the first few insertions are fine, but after I get to a lot more, then it does some kind of movement in there, and then there's like an extreme amount of pain. But I've still upped them since I'm drinking less juice. I still try to get at least the 6 liters in.
Yeah, I would drink more juice and I would do more enemas. If you're having trouble if you're having trouble with the protocol, I would say wash your colon more. It just means that you're more toxic. Really, it just means that a person is more toxic if they can't follow the protocol. And that's where we say, either slow down or
Break the fast.
Or break it.
Put it off. Do another day. You got a whole lifetime ahead of you.
No, I mean, if you want to continue, that's fine. But
I mean, I'm not going to stop the fast. So
yeah, you don't have to.
There has to be another option. I'm definitely not going to stop.
More drinking, more washing.
More drinking of the Concord grape juice, even if you don't like it, and extend it like.
It's not that I don't like it. I love the way the juice tastes with the lemon in it.
People think that I'm listening to my body. To be honest with you, if they're new to the master fast,
an obstructed body does not give proper signals.
They're not really listening to their bodies. Yeah, at least do one long one, and then eat, and then come back, and you'll understand where you were. But if it's your first one, I would follow the protocol for some time, for a long time, before you start experimenting.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like, oh, forget that protocol. I'm going to go do my own thing. I mean, no, yeah. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I know, but the juice is part of the protocol and how much you drink. And I have experimented before with these things, increasing my dry, and my body did not like it. It's hard, and you don't feel it immediately. Yeah, you want to experience the detox properly. Following the protocol, and then once you are more experienced, then you can with guidance you can experiment further, but do a long one, at least following the protocol.
Yeah, when you were on the other juices, were they raw juices?
Yeah.
Greens or fruit?
Both. Mostly fruit, but both.
Were you getting the same things happening?
No.
Yeah, that's why we're talking complete two different worlds here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not the same. I mean, and that's what I had mentioned before when I spoke. It's just, of course, I felt healing in my body, and I felt great things happening, but it is not the same.
Yeah, I did before Master Fast, before I met Gino. 2 years before I met him, I did 100-day raw cantaloupe, mainly juice fast, and it was nothing compared to the Master Fast.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, just the herbs alone that I use on Master Fast, I mean, sometimes I'll just take those and just go into a phase, yeah. Just from the herbs alone. And I've been on Dr. Morse herbs, several rounds of those, and I never felt this. So even that alone, yeah. So this is definitely definitely a deeper step, more powerful and just deeper. I do get that. I mean, I feel that difference for sure.
Yeah, like everything you've shared with us, it just shows the body's got to move out a lot of stuff still. So that's what we're telling you.
Baking soda in your enemas.
Yeah, it helps.
Yep.
Yeah,
I definitely do that. I do a lot of that in every single one. Yeah, I got that from the protocol. Said to suggested that. I do have these bouts of extreme bloatedness and gas, but it's the type of gas that doesn't want to move, so it's it's painful, which I'm fine with that if that's what my body needs to do. But I'm just putting it out there.
bowels moving a lot, hemorrhoids, this, that. These are signals, right, of what's going on. There's lots of things trying to move out.
Changes. Yeah.
It's,
I just wanted to say that I understand the feelings that Latrice is talking about regarding not wanting to consume as much and some of the pains, the bloating, and so on. But I want to encourage Latrice to consider the green juices and to consider drinking more. And I say this from a point of view of somebody who's experienced these things and done a couple of 108s and I've also had a lot of maybe ego involved looking at what I was doing at times, and now I can see how it's better to stick to the protocol and follow that and sort of remove the ego, remove the idea that I even know everything that's happening, and listen to some of the advice coming, even though it may seem like it's not the path I've chosen. It still may be a better path, and it's worth experiencing that. So I would encourage the green juice and more juice. Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah. Yeah, Lisa has done a few long ones and lots of dry fasting.
Yeah, lots of dry fasting. And just lots of, think I know what's going on. And then I realize how much there is to learn. And this is 2.5 years later. So,
remember your first dry fast?
Yeah, I remember being on the phone with you. So, yeah. And, there's just so much, like, I'm learning daily even. And this is hard even to deal with now. It's like, I look back, well, the first one was so simple because I just had to do this event and I was just going to stay on this juice and do this protocol during the day. But it gets bigger and bigger and you realize the enormity, and that can be hard. And so then where I'm at right now is trying to accept and embrace the longevity of the process and to be really comfortable in the now, which is something that we're not taught to do at all in this world. And so that's where the emotional comes into the emotional work through meditation, through yoga, for prayer, with prayer for some people. So, and I think that when you're practicing master fast, you can blend, or you can work on all these things together, and you should. And I found a lot of need to remove the ego from the equation.
Yeah, I mean, like, when was it? Maybe a few days ago, you see an article of I see an article of a lady. She's in day 90 and she calls herself breatharian. She's fasting, I think, juice fasting. And this article is written about her, I think, by her. And she's doing juices, smoothies. I mean, this is like not even a juice fast, like. And she's saying, "Oh, I'm never hungry again." And I'm thinking, I mean, it's like, how many 108 days have we done? We all said I'm not hungry, but then when we eat, the hunger comes back. And plus, there's smoothies in this article. So, and it's just like as if it was a miracle, that she did a long fast and now she's not hungry and she's not gonna eat again. It's experience. It takes time.
A lot of smoke and mirrors out there.
It's not gonna be an event and your life gonna change. It's an experience. I mean, if you choose to not eat again and you're determined, amazing. I mean, because not many people are going to do that. That takes a lot of courage to just think about. Just to think about that I don't care to eat anymore. But like, I'm serious. Like, not to want to eat again. Not smoothies. I'm talking no food. It takes courage to make this, like, just the thought of it, to decide that I don't want to do it.
I've had that thought for many years.
Yeah.
I'm still eating.
Yeah. I mean, to have it and to start the fast and to know that you're not going to eat, like that, I feel like you become more and more determined with time, that you don't want to eat. I mean, Marine is doing it and he's doing amazing. It's been almost 3 years now, which is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, it can be done at least for 3 years. We see it. But the thing is, most people don't even care for that, so those who care to do that, amazing, good for you guys, because it's not easy to even think about it as a goal. I mean, when we put the levels for Master Fast Lifestyle, pretty much nobody had level 7 except for very few, which is liquidarian. And I think, Latrice, you were one of them, which was amazing. Good for you. At least you had the thought. But you have to have now you have to do it. And you have to, please follow the protocols. Please learn from experienced people who have done longer fasts. And especially on the Master Fast, because it's powerful.
Allow the process to to do what it needs to do. And take the time it takes. It's okay.
Yeah. And if you want to do liquidarian for the rest of your life, amazing. Amazing. Just do it right. Be guided, Ranjit, you're being guided. You embraced and you took the advice. Every time we mentioned something, you took it, which is amazing. Thank you. I know it's not easy. We were not easy ourselves to follow the protocol completely,
Yeah, I was told to listen to you. So I knew there's so many different things out there, and all I did was eliminate everything, MFS, surrender to the protocols, surrender to your advice, surrender and listen to those interviews. Like, you have I don't think how many hours I have listened to interviews, sometimes 2 or 3 times, to hear of people's challenges.
Yeah.
And Gino, you were always, and Rana, you were always consistent with your advice. And I think when you surrender, it's that surrender and that trust that you go, okay. I think even Lisa said it just before, is that the intellect comes in and plays, and the body is obstructed, and we can't listen to our body. My body's still obstructed. That's why I asked for your advice, because like I'm already saying, yeah, I'm going to stick to, liquid hybrid until the end of the year, and I'm going to follow MFS's protocols, because, like it's served me this far. It served me with the surrender into it, because Gino, you've got 30 years. Like, no one's got that, and you give this advice for nothing. Like, you offer this, so why would I, as a person, not follow that? And Rana, like the amount of people, Rana, you've helped, like over the 4 years, you guys just know it. You know what we go through. You know what I'm going through right now. So why wouldn't I accept that? I need to receive that, and take that on board, and I will always do that, because I can't do it on my own. I already know that. Like, there's no way. I don't know what 2020 is going to hold. If I can go liquid hybrid, as long as I, if the soul allows me to do that, and I have my support here, I will continue. Yeah, it's all about doing this together and surrendering to the realm of MFS. That's how I feel. It's that, because that served me so much. I'm just, You know when you know, like you go, I don't know everything. I don't know the answers to what this is. And everyone's journey is unique and organic and unfolding in their beautiful way. It's just so lovely. And we are here to help and serve all of us. But yeah, no, I stick to the realm of MFS. I'm in it. Like I probably be here as long as you guys are here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, we love it. Really. As I said, you're inspiring everybody. You're inspiring us too to get back on, and to do a long one, and maybe like I love the fact that you had the courage to say I want to do liquids, because not many people say that. That's great, and that's like I wanted that at some point in the past. So now it's like a reminder. Oh my God, yeah, it's exciting. I want to do that too. Yeah, thank you. That's amazing. I love that, and thank you for your courage.
When you get into these states and you feel freaking amazing, it's addictive, and we lose sight of certain things sometimes. So it's listen to more people's interviews of their experiences.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way to learn.
The protocols ground you.
Yeah.
They ground you. When you, like what Lisa said before, is like you don't have to think. There's no thinking. So you just follow it and you stick it to it. You stick it to T. It's 101 of MMS. If you do that, then the longer you go, that my experience now, the longer you go, you've got something to fall on if you get into trouble.
The girl from Montreal.
About what?
She got in trouble. What was her name?
Oh yeah, Alejandra.
Alejandra. Yeah. Oh yeah, listen to her interview. I was on the call with her, trying to convince her to go to the hospital because I'm seeing her going in and out of her body, and she didn't want to go. And she's not following protocol, and she's asking for help. I'm going to go to the hospital. I don't know how many times I've said it.
Yeah, it can be. We don't want to deal with that. So just follow at least the protocol. We know many people have done it, and we have done it, and it's totally fine. It's fine. It's like
you're coming to me, not following protocol. Ooh, I don't know.
Unless a person,
what are you doing, man? Go to the hospital.
Yeah, unless a person is super toxic, then they will feel extremely tired. Even on the protocol. But the majority are not, and the majority are fine. Like
another guy wasn't
even if you go for 60 days, you don't have to go for 108 days. When you feel it's enough, stop, and then eat again, take a break, and then get back if you like to fast.
Another fellow, like, remember, he ends up in the hospital. He's telling he was doing everything, and he wasn't doing enemas. Yeah. He was so plugged up. I don't know what happened to him after, but whatever, simple tools.
Yeah, we have seen enough on that in the past 4 years.
I don't want to hear this stuff.
We don't need emergencies.
We know what works. We know how to do it safely now.
And somebody like Ranjit, you have done the protocol, you're following it. You're asking for advice about experimenting a little bit with the protocol. And, we are learning together, okay? But you have followed the protocol. You have done it. So and you're going to be past 1 year. So.
Well, as long as we know there's risk of death, you go out walking, there's risk of death. You go driving your car, there's risk of death. You go for a swim, there's risk of death. We know these things, so there's just ways to do it quicker. Right? We're going to jump the fence sooner or later. Might as well do it massive fasting.
Yeah. We're learning together, guys, and it's
freaking amazing. But yeah, it's all good.
We want to be learning together, and thank you, Ranjit, for staying with us even when you want to experiment. Thank you. Yeah, it's good to be connected. It's for everybody to learn.
The feeling is addictive, very, very addictive. I can tell you, it's
time for a long one, right? He's inspired.
I like the long dries. That's what my thing is, right?
Well, yeah, liquid and dry. Mix it up.
Because it's very exponential, the dries. You know, people say that 1 day dry is like 3 days water fast. No, that's nothing to do with each other. Every day of dry gets more and more powerful as you go into it. It's Fibonacci spiral. That's what I see happening with the dry. It's just
It takes over.
very potent. And that's why somebody who's very obstructed gets into these dries. The body can't purge it quick enough. And that's what we see happening. And that's what we've seen happening.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of groups out there these days, dry fasting and stuff, and they're eating crap. They're just putting their body through all that punishment. Wow. So, see you, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. That's scary, that stuff, because you know when you know the knowledge and you go see these people, I just want to go grab and bring them here. But like, it's really scary. Like I get, oh no, don't do it.
You know, as long as your diet's pretty clean and your dry fasting is fine. But when you start getting into drinking pig fat and stuff like that, I'm going, okay, sure.
Breaking your fast, right?
Yeah. I go, these guys are insane.
Breaking the fast, the dry fast with pig fat.
And, you know, almost trying to puke, you know, trying to get it down. Like, what are you trying to do?
I don't know how that works.
Oh, yeah, man, I feel great. Okay, sure. You lived through that one, okay. But this is what we see out there, right? People doing things, okay, whatever. Some people will survive. The human body is a miraculous design. And, you know, it can take punishment for decades and survive. You know, some people go 90 years of punishment every day eating crap, and they don't live to 90 years old or whatever. You know? That's how amazing the human body is built. There's no machine that can withstand that man creates. Human body is not a machine. It's driven by soul. And that's why it does amazing things. So, where are we at? Oh my goodness, we're going to the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, we do, because it's got so many beautiful people here. And how's Connie going? Because Connie's gonna, she's up to something. I don't know. She's been watching, I think.
No, I'm good. I'm on day 12.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I'm on day 12.
12, awesome.
Yeah. Just, poking along. Had a great release the other day, fluorescent yellow. So, happy.
Fluorescent, nice. Are you cold?
Yeah. Well, I'm warm right now, but yeah, it was a cold morning. Yeah.
Is it winter where you are?
Pardon? I'm in Perth. Perth, Western Australia.
Down under.
So it's cold.
She's an Aussie! Another Aussie! Yay! Sorry.
Yes. No, it's good. Tough emotionally, but
Yeah.
good. Embracing, trying to surrender.
Excellent.
Everything.
Excellent. Trust.
Surrendering.
Trust. It's a big thing. So many people that we've seen give up. They didn't have the trust. They just listening to their obstructed body, which is telling you a bunch of bullcrap. You know, it's lots of speaking in tongues, so you can't understand what's going on. But yeah, keep going. Keep going. What are you planning on doing?
I was planning 108, but I'm actually listening to you guys and thinking maybe I'll just do 40 and concentrate on breaking the fast, because that's my problem. So I've done lots. I've done a few 40s, 53, lots of 20s, but I'm not good with breaking the fast.
You've done master fast before?
Yes, yeah. So I've done 53, a few 40s,
Awesome.
lots of 20s. Like in the last 2 years, every time I break, I'm planning to go back on. Every, you know, I always think I'll eat for one day, and then, you know, what happens, you eat, and I'm always, from that one day, I'm always trying to get on every day.
That's living the lifestyle, right? You're always even when you're eating.
Yeah, so I just did 20, had a 2-week eating break, and then now I'm back on day 12. So I'm always wanting to fast because I feel great. It's just the emotions. I'm learning how to just surrender at the moment, the emotions, but I'll never give up. I just love it. Just, working on it.
Thank you.
You have children?
Good job.
Yes, 2 difficult, 5 and 7. So yes, also trying to do the best thing for them as well.
Right.
Getting there. It's hard. It's difficult. The mirror of truth is hard.
Yeah.
Especially with them.
Yeah. Were you one to put them on regimes of eating, or have you let that go?
I did when they were young. I didn't know that much about food, or but I did keep them away from sugar when they were very young, the first few years.
Awesome.
Then I had them on gluten-free, and then they start getting older and they get friends and they go to parties and they start eating. Yep. And it makes it very hard. Even my family used to go behind my back and give them lollies and do this and that. They never wanted it. But eventually, if you give something to a child enough, then they start wanting to eat it. But they're very good. They have a fruit dinner every night, fruit and maybe veggies.
Awesome.
They have that, and that's what they want every night. And usually in the morning I try and give them a fruit breakfast, but then in between is where we get stuck, like at school, and I give them a sandwich because it's very hard.
Yeah.
They want the heaviness of the heavy foods, and I don't know how to break them of that habit.
Speak to them about emotions and stuff. Always have fresh, ripe fruit, veggies around. And
maybe
start. They're very intelligent. Start being creative in how you allow them to listen to their bodies.
Yes.
For what the body needs, and not dealing with emotions of other people and so on and so forth. And they'll get it. They're smart.
Oh, they do. Yeah. My daughter gets it. She knows she's got to release her emotions. Like, she's now starting to identify when she's holding in something, and she's getting better at it. My son, he's a bit different, and he's younger, but he'll get there. They know they've got to release their emotions. Right. That's what we're working on at the moment. Just release and feel if you want to feel, and
very important.
That's where I'm at with them.
I think most of us grew up in regimes of eating, and you have to finish your plate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For the heavy food, maybe give them some baked sweet potatoes and beets, maybe flour, maybe some steamed zucchini, stuff like that. Mushrooms.
I'm gonna try.
This will fill them up, maybe.
Yeah.
This is not bread or.
That's not so bad. Yeah. Definitely.
What are you thinking to do after this fast in terms of like?
Now, because I know I need to find balance, and the only way is, I think, maybe eating 2 days a week. I've got to do after this 2 days, must fast 4, dry 1. That's what my aim is, and I think if I can be consistent with that, then I will do a longer fast. I just don't want to do a longer fast until I know that I can control my eating without going very bad, and then I'll do a long one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But I've got to just find balance first. Yeah. If I can find balance, then I'll be doing a long one.
we're only going to stick to it if we love it, right? We're not going to do it any other way. And
Yeah.
it's, we learn to master everything we do little by little. Right? It's not going to happen overnight. So that's the big challenge of when we go back to food for everybody. And for the few who say they're not going to go back to food, okay, that's fine, but make that decision wholeheartedly that you really know that you're not going to go back to food, because
there are triggers, I guess. Right?
it's we've been eating food for generations and generations. It's not something we're going to let go quickly. That's what I'm saying. It could happen. Somebody can make up their mind.
Later, yeah.
It's going to be nothing. Everything's possible, right? Everything's possible. Everything with Prudence is the way of the wizard.
Yeah.
The masters.
Yeah, the most important thing is the lifestyle. So you don't even need to do a long one, to be honest with you. So after finishing the 40 days, which is great, a great cleanse, it flushes big obstructions. You'll feel amazing, and then you start your lifestyle, and just do your best to stick with it. It's not easy always to be perfect. We're not perfect at all, so allow room for some errors, and always do your best to get back on. But this way you're enjoying both fasting and eating. Just keep enjoying both, and once in a while, if you feel like doing a longer one, then do a long one. But the hard part is mastering the lifestyle, is feeling good on your lifestyle.
Yeah, like when we go on to the long MFSs, the full MFSs, there's a lot of massive changes happen, metamorphoses, transformations.
Which we're not necessarily always ready for,
It's quite different than taking eating breaks, and that's why when you're living the lifestyle, over time, like you said, if you want to do 2 days a week of eating at the end of the year, that's what, only 50, 150, 102, 4 days of eating a year, right? And the rest is no food. That's a lot of fasting, right? That's a fasting lifestyle, most people are living an eating lifestyle, and to change the psyche to a fasting lifestyle, that's the challenge. That's the challenge. We see the posts. It's all emotional, and it's all about eating.
I see, people who want to do all liquids and people who want to do eating and liquid. Honestly, there is beauty in both. All liquid is definitely easy, like less challenges. But eating and fasting also has a lot of beauty, because there's the experience of eating, especially the best food, if you're growing your own food. It's an experience. And then socializing, you feel maybe you're, you can relate more, you can cook food for your family and enjoy it with them. So there is beauty in both. You just have to make your decision and enjoy whatever choice you make. Yeah. Changes is really not easy. Any diet, if you want to do raw food diet, that's not easy. It's already very different from what your family eats, and your friends eat, and what's offered in the restaurants. So it's going to be very challenging to do a raw food diet, for example. So let's not forget that. Before knowing the master fast, I did raw food, and that was not easy. It was okay. I loved it, but I had challenges. And then I'm doing the master fast and eating, and I have challenges. So it's always challenging. So, it's up to us really at the end of the day. Are we willing to work on our challenges, or do we want to keep repeating the mistakes and be challenged? It's important for us to grow and learn from our mistakes, and be happy. At the end of the day, it's about being happy. with our choices.
All right. It's been a blast as always with all you wonderful souls. And we continue the journey. So,
Gabriela, I just want to say, Gabriela, thank you. I love listening to you, your story and your interview. Thank you for sharing.
yeah. Thank
So
you
good.
so much, Gabriela, for your time.
Thank you for inviting me and for everything, for the information, for doing this for so many years, inspiring all of us.
Yeah,
Thank
you know,
you.
it's all about being in service, for each other, so we can live in that blissful realm. Because if you're not helping somebody, what are we doing? What are we doing here? So we're all we're all mirrors of each other, and that's the beauty of creation. It's all one, intertwined with our uniqueness. Okay, so let's call it a close, and we thank everybody again. Thank you again,
Love you
Gabriela.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye, Latrice.
Bye.
Steve, Connie, who else we got? Susan, Ranjit, Inga, Rana, Barbara. Ciao,
Love you
everybody.
guys.
Ciao.